Now let's get to tonight's SensCentral standouts after a 6-2 win over the Detroit Red Wings. Jack, this is one of those postcasts where it doesn't matter who goes first. There's so many good players to go around, but as our guest on the postcast, I will graciously pass it over to you for the first SensCentral standout of the night.
Okay, we've mentioned a lot of the top guys, obviously. We mentioned Shabbat, and I thought, again, he had a great game. My first one I'm going to go with, though, might be a bit under the radar, not on the stat sheet. I'm going Matthew Joseph.
Okay. Oh, wow.
I thought that third line, we mentioned Gambrell with that nice pass to Giroux for that goal, for the game winner. I thought that third line was really good, and that's so important for this team. It was what we thought, the Pinto-Joseph-Mott combination was going to be after the preseason. Injuries messed with that a little bit, and obviously Mott's in New York now. Funny enough, though, his replacement, Julien Gauthier, I love him. He's just big.
He's been nice.
He runs bodies. He's fast. He can stretch out the D. Him and Joseph together is really fun.
Yep.
And I think Gambrell, the points aren't there, but you've been mired in a situation where you're playing with Watson, you're playing with Kelly. You're not in an offensive situation. He can make plays. He's had some nice plays this season, I think. So that third line had a great game to me. I'm going to go with Matthew Joseph, though. He had some great, scoring chances that he could have scored in the first period, especially. He really set the tone, I thought. Hit his legs going. Whenever he has his legs going and he uses that speed, good things happen for the Sens. So Matthew Joseph is my first SensCentral standout.
And this is where you got to give a nod to Brady, the captain, again. He gives Joseph the goggles knowing he's been down and out. And that's been a confidence booster. So that's what you love to see from this team, from this leader. So Matthew Joseph is your first SensCentral standout. I'm going to take the low-hanging fruit here, Jack. I'm going for it. Claude Giroux is my SensCentral standout. I mean, a goal, 3 assists. What more do you want? Oh, how about being 79% in the face-off dot? This guy was absolutely clutch. 15 for 19. And what I love most about this, Jack, is he's 11 for 12 in the offensive zone draws. Good for 92%. Like, it cannot be valued enough how important Claude Giroux, a veteran guy, a guy that's not just kind of an assistant coach. He's still got it on the ice. He's still an elite player that can just help this young core figure out how to get through the grind of a long season. He can pick them up when they're down. He keeps guys accountable. Claude Giroux was just absolutely amazing today. I mentioned it earlier. This guy, he finished with 4 points, but he could have had 6 or 7 easily, as he had another breakaway chance where he pulls off an incredible move, but just can't finish it. He hits the post like we mentioned earlier. He had a couple good plays. That pass to Timmy for the one-timer could have been another assist there. So my SensCentral standout is Claude Giroux, and we'll do it snake style here, so I'll take a second one here. I already have mentioned him here, but Brady Tkachuk, like, this guy is just exactly what you want from a leader in every single standpoint. He scores a goal. He has 8 shots on goal. He has 5 hits, and I think, honestly, where it all comes down to for Brady, it's a play that is after the whistle and is not going to show up on the stat sheet. Well, I guess a penalty happens after it, but going up to that Red Wings bench and just challenging all of them. Like, what do you do as a Red Wings bench when a guy does that to you and nobody responds? Like, you think they'd have some sort of internal conversation like, we can't allow him to do that to us. We can't allow this. I mean, Brady seems like a vet, but he's still a kid. He's in his early 20s. Some of the vets on Detroit have to be like, we got to shut this guy up. Like, we got to do something here. And they do nothing. And the Sens roll their way to a 6-2 win. So Brady Tkachuk is the captain of this team for a reason. He's an absolute legend. And he is my second SensCentral standout. Off to you, Jack.
To quote Chris Neal, you're next, bud. And his numbers going to be up there. I love that little moment last week. So, great choices there. I'm going to go with Thomas Chabot. We've praised him a little bit. I said I was hard on him, and not that I don't think the criticism wasn't deserved. He wasn't playing his best. I don't think we've seen him be better. This was a great game from him. He was the top defenseman on the team. Sanderson had a great game too, but this was one undoubtedly where Thomas Chabot was the number one dog. I said, Nick and I were talking over at our pregame show before the game. We were previewing kind of the 2 games, right? This little mini series. Thomas Chabot should and is the best defenseman on either team. And tonight he was the best blue liner. I thought Seider's good. He's young though. I think Chabot is better right now.
I didn't notice Seider too much other than Brady just showing him, hey, welcome to the NHL.
He's physically imposing. Like he's a great player, obviously. Like I'd kill to have him on the Sens right now, but he was getting bullied by Brady Tkachuk, and I don't think any Red Wings fan can argue with that. So Chabot for me, I just like the skating, the goal obviously really helps, but just little details of his game. Like he was sharp. When Chabot is sharp, this team is great. And I loved his game tonight. So Thomas Chabot's my second SensCentral standout. I'm going with the French Connection, the St. John Sea Dogs.
Yeah.
And if we go 3 times around, maybe I'll name Julien Gauthier.
I was gonna say, yeah, there's one more you can get to here.
yeah. So I really liked them both tonight, and I mean, it makes me excited about the potential of what this team can do down the stretch here.
Yeah, this is the kind of game that justifies what Sens fans have been saying and thinking is we feel like we've got all the pieces here. For some reason, we just can't put it together consistently enough. This was a textbook win from the Ottawa Senators. Everyone defined and executed their roles perfectly, in my mind, Jack. Perfectly.
So I also tweeted a lot, obviously. I tweeted this out too.
Game like this, that'll happen. Yeah.
You have to, right? I mean, so if this is DJ Smith playoff hockey, okay, and we won't know until we get there officially, if they get there under him, sign me up, man. That was fun. Like everyone was
a lot of fun.
And last week before the Blackhawks game, when they were gearing up for this stretch that was important, I said something like, I trust DJ Smith to get these guys fired up. And then obviously they lay that egg against the Blackhawks in the third period. Not a good look for me. But a game like this, yes, it's on the captain. Yes, it's the players who have to go out there and do it. That is what DJ Smith is about, I think. I think that was a perfect game. If you're a management team out there looking for another coach next season, if DJ's not behind the bench in Ottawa, like that's what you're signing up for, I think. And I've been in his corner for a lot, but I was fed up with him this year. So to me, like it was physical. It's making the Sens home ice hard to play against the Sens in Ottawa. It was impressive to see, and I think we have to give DJ Smith some credit tonight because yes, the players all played well, but it's hard to get your team fired up for a game in February in Ottawa when it's snowing. So that fired me up. I think he deserves some credit.
Yep, and Jack, a great thing about this 6-2 win in Ottawa over the Detroit Red Wings is tomorrow's matchup is in Ottawa against the Detroit Red Wings. I mean, that's what you love to see. So hopefully the Senators can continue to make home ice advantage at the CTC a dominant part of a win in tomorrow's game, as it will likely be Mads Søgaard starting up against Ville Husso of the Detroit Red Wings.